Welcome, everybody. My name is Mario Vitale, and I am the president of AME, which stands for Alliance of Multicultural Entrepreneurs. Um, we're going to wait a few seconds to give a chance to the people that are signing in. So this is the time to get your piña colada or your mojito. And no, just kidding. We really don't have that much time. So just a couple of seconds and we are ready to start. So. Okay. I would like to thank everybody who's joining us today. Thank you for taking the time. We have people from all over the country and several other countries. We have a very exciting panel today, and I want to talk a little bit, just a little bit about AME. AME was founded a few years ago, and with the cooperation of Carla Silva, who you're going to meet at the end of this webinar. And the purpose of AME is basically networking for business entrepreneurs, executives, and corporate entities. And we get involved in many different projects in the benefit of the community. So, like I said, at the end of this webinar, Carla, who will be closing, will give additional information regarding AME. So we're going to jump in. I'm going to introduce the moderator, who is Sara Mijares. Sara Mijares is a very well-known celebrity in the local community. She is the founding president of the Maya Foundation, which has been around for the longest time. And one of her newest and most successful projects has been the founding of LA Angelina magazine. So, Sara, take it away.
Thank you, Mario. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Bienvenidos, everybody. Thank you for joining AME and UNICO in the second webinar of the series. And today we're very excited to present two outstanding professionals that are going to talk to us about how to face the biggest challenges during COVID and how to come ahead, okay? How to be successful, okay, in overcoming some of the programs. And we have here today, well, actually, best strategies to run a successful business, the unusual situation. And it's going to be presented by Romina Thomas. And Romina is a certified accountability and business coach and founder of Romina Thomas Coaching. And also we have, with the subject of COVID-19, return to work practices to maintain employee and customer safety and health, Miguel Borunda, a PUMS Vice President. And he's an insurance broker and advisor at PUMS Risk Control and Insurance, and a member of the United States Mexico Chamber of Commerce, which is our collaborator for today. So thank you, everybody. Pay attention, take a lot of notes, and actually don't take notes because I think we're going to make this available for you after the webinar. So, and with that in mind, I am very proud to present today Romina Thomas. Romina is a certified accountability and business coach, supporting people to achieve their personal and business goals, specializing in goal setting, strategic planning, and time management. Don't we all need that right now? She believes that as entrepreneurs, we must wear many hats, and that can be a bit overwhelming. Romina supports women to develop and implement a strategic plan of action that makes sense for their schedule so that they can accomplish their goals, reach work or life balance, and avoid burned out. Her credentials are Associate Certified Coach accreditation from the International Coach Federation, Certified Professional Coach certification from the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching, Energy Leadership Index Master Practitioner Certification from the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching, and a member of the International Coach Federation, and founder of Romina Thomas Coaching. So it is my honor to introduce to today, Romina Thomas. Adelante, Romina.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Sarah, so much. Am I unmuted? Yes, I am, right? Thank you, Sarah, so much for the great introduction. And I'm happy to be here today. Thank you, AME, for the invitation. I think this is an important topic, and I want to just head on and start talking about the three most important elements that I believe are necessary to thrive during these times. Because believe it or not, you can be successful during these times. You don't have to be unsuccessful, unmotivated, and negative. Change is good. I consider change to be something good, and always something good comes out of change. Maybe not when you are transitioning change, but when you come out of change, you always grow and you always learn and you always come out more empowered and successful. So today I want to focus on three things that I believe are important to stay to be successful during this period. The first one is to stay motivated, which is something important. It's so easy to be unmotivated during these times with all the news and all the things that are happening. So I'm going to share with you a few tools and resources for you to stay motivated. The second one is to stay active and being proactive, but not just physically. I'm talking about business, how to stay active in business, how to be proactive, how to stay on top and on track of your goals. The third one, which is my favorite, and this is what I do every day, day in and day out with my clients, is to setting up a plan of action in motion. So I'm going to teach you and I'm going to share with you a few tips and things that I do to create a strategic plan of action that will allow you to achieve your goals. Okay, so regarding the tips that I want to share with you about staying motivated, we can move on to the next one if you want. It's dress for success. Okay, this is something so simple, and you might be thinking, okay, well, but we cannot get out, go anywhere. Where am I going to dress for success? Well, we're all working from home. And first of all, dressing for success is not for anybody else, it's for you. You need to feel good about yourself, and that will make you feel more empowered. So when you're dressing up, you're not just doing it for the world to see, you're doing it for yourself. So when you wake up in the morning and you stay in your PJs all day, that doesn't help you to keep your motivation going, because you might be feeling more lethargic, more calm, easygoing. I am not saying that you cannot do it one day, a couple of days a week if that makes you feel good. But if you want to continue being on business and working on your business daily, I think it's important to show up to work, dressing for success. So staying in your PJs all day, I don't recommend it. Now, if you're a person that likes to be on loungewear and you can work that way, go for it. I need to feel, that I'm showing up for work and I'm showing up for myself and for the world, in a more put together way. Okay. The other one is to set up a working mode. What does that mean? It means that to light a candle, to open the windows, to create an environment and an ambience that is motivating. If you are in your PJs, in your couch with a laptop here, the windows are closed, that's not very motivating, at least to me. So I need to see light. As you can see, this is my workspace. I have a candle, and I am just not doing this for the webinar. This is how I like to work. I'm very clean and neat and organized. I like to open the windows and get the lights. Now, not everybody has a designated work area. I'll talk about that in a minute. But whatever work area you have, make sure it's a work space that you like and you enjoy and it motivates you to do the work. Okay, so there is no piles and piles of paper that doesn't help you also for concentration. So these are the things for you to stay motivated, which is so important, because showing up for work in the right mindset will help you thrive. So we first start with ourselves, showing up nicely, motivating ourselves, being in the right mindset, so then we can tackle on the workday. Okay, but that's an important step. So even if you want to do some things before, as meditation, exercise, dancing, singing, whatever makes you puts you in a good mood and in a motivating mood, go for it. Okay, these are things that I do, and you don't necessarily have to do the same, but I'm just giving you ideas and things that they work for me. Okay. Now, regarding things to staying active and being proactive, that will be the next slide. Setting up a designated working area, okay? Designating working area means that you can be anywhere in your house. Even if you have a studio at home, you can designate a workspace. It could be a little corner of your dining table. It could be the kitchen table. Anywhere in the house, even if you have a small place, it doesn't have to be a room. You can use that as a designated work area. So why is this important? This is important because we are used to having a routine, or at least we were used to having a routine, to waking up, to get in the car, to go to work. Well, this is the same thing. You wake up, you dress up for success, and you go to work, whatever work may be. It could be from the kitchen to the living room. That's work. So your brain needs to say, oh, okay, I'm going to work now. And it prepares you to do the work. Try to minimize distractions, okay? When you're working, it's important, like I said before, maybe turn on some music that helps you stay concentrated. Do not, please, and I know this is hard, do not keep the news on all day long in the background. That doesn't help you accomplish anything other than, makes you feel agitated, angry, upset, all these things at the same time. So I am not saying do not be in contact with reality and know what's going on. Do that, but to a degree. Do not keep the news all day long in the background. Set up reminders. This is something that I do all the time. When I'm working, I have my phone, and we all have smartphones, and you can set up reminders for meetings, to take breaks, anything that you feel that you need to set up, even to drink water. I've been drinking a lot of water, but I didn't used to, so I set up a reminder to say, hey, drink water. It's been like an hour. So little things that can help you stay on track of whatever goals you have, either personal or business. That can help you staying active and being proactive towards your goals and your workday. Now, scheduling breaks. This is something so important. Working from home could be good and bad at the same time. It could be good because we're at home and we can do other things as well as working that maybe we couldn't do before. But also you can go to the other side and overwork yourself because you have no schedule and you can be working 11 hours, 12, 13, all day, okay? So it's important to set up a working routine and to have a schedule and say, okay, if I used to go to work from 8 to 5, 9 to 6, or whatever your schedule was, do the same at home. A lot of people will need to continue that because they are doing virtual meetings and they still need to be available during working hours, so that might be easier. But if you work for yourself and if you're an entrepreneur, it's important to create this schedule. And you can do it any way you want. You can break it up, as long as you have one. So you can say, okay, I'm gonna work from 8 to 12 and then from 4 to 7, fine, whatever works for you. But make sure you have those designated work hours. It will help you to stay on track of your goals, okay? Also, it will help you to stay, to have a balance between work and life, okay? So scheduling breaks, creating a routine, all of these things can help you to have a more balanced life. And this is what we all should strive for, to have balance. It's not all about work or all about fun or all about family or all about ourselves, is to have the balance between all of those areas. That's how you accomplish a life where you feel fulfilled, where you feel that you are doing something for you, for everybody else, for your business, for your family. To have balance. So now that we're working from home, a lot of us, and we have the chance to do this, then try to sit down and see how you're spending your time. See, we don't do this. This is something that I do the very first session with my clients. I sit them down and I said, okay, because the first thing they tell me is that, Romina, I don't have time. I don't have enough hours in the day. I can't do all of this. So I sit down with them and I said, okay, we're going to go hour by hour and you're going to tell me what you do since you wake up in the morning. And by doing that, everybody realizes that you have time to do things. You're just not spending the time in a strategic way, okay? This is all about time management and organization, and this is not rocket science. You just need to understand how you're choosing to spend your time. You need to become aware of how you use your hours. When you do that, then you have the power of choosing and deciding how do you want to spend your time, okay? If you want to spend your time on social media for 3 hours, perfect. But I need you to be aware of that you're doing that, as opposed to 3 hours just gone by and you didn't know what happened, and then you don't have time to work on your goals, okay? So I'm just saying that it's important for you to become aware of how you spend your time. So keeping a working schedule, it's a must, okay? Now, this is to me, the most fun part, the most important part, and maybe the most relevant to all of you there that are working from home and have a business, is how to set up an effective plan of action, okay? I think the most important element when setting up a plan of action, it's something so simple that it's so easy to do and not everybody does it. This element is, to me, the most important. You know which element that is? Is the good old-fashioned to-do list, okay? Creating a to-do list. You can handwrite it, you can type it, you can make it fancy on these amazing calendars that are out there, but it's important to create a to-do list. Why is this important? Okay, I have 2 minutes left. Oh my God, okay, I'll tell you. This is important because the to-do list has a lot of benefits. First, it helps you clear your head. You put all these thoughts that are lingering in your head onto the paper. That exercise alone can save you time and can give you peace of mind. You feel more at ease and more in control of what you're doing every day. You can organize your thoughts, you keep yourself on track of your goals, and you can track your progress. So a to-do list is not just a to-do list. It's this magic thing that if you work on it daily, it can give you so many benefits. Now, when you're working on your to-do list, it's important to put goals in there that are achievable. Easy peasy little goals. This is the key to creating a strategic plan of action, okay? People think the bigger the goals, the bigger the results. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I am not saying do not create big goals. Please do so, but break them down. Because one thing is to read your to-do list and say, oh, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And when you're reading it, you're feeling good about it. You're saying, oh yeah, I can absolutely do this. Another different thing is to look at your to-do list and already feel overwhelmed just by looking at it. That's not a good to-do list, okay? So having a to-do list will help you to take daily and consistent action. And that's the key to achieving your goals and to reaching success and to have a thriving business. It's as simple and as complicated as that. When you create a plan of action that is strategic, it can help you to have a more successful business and for you to have that sense of accomplishment at the end of the day that you did something, you know, hey, you know what, I accomplished all these goals today. I spent time with my family. I have time to do some exercise and even have time to watch a movie on Netflix. And that's possible. All you need is to be a bit organized and to become aware of how you spend your time. I think that's the most important thing. I can take 3 more minutes. Is that still going, Sarah? I just want to say a little bit more about strategic planning. Something that you can do is when you create your to-do list, on one hand, you're going to have your goals and your tasks. And on the other one, you're going to grab your calendar. And then you're going to allocate the time to work on that task. So let me tell you 2 things that you can do on this. When you schedule a task, let's say, okay, I'm going to call 3 clients, okay? You think, okay, how long is going to take me to call 3 people? Maybe 45 minutes. Always plan for more. So if you know it's going to take you 45 minutes, plan for an hour. Why? Because if you accomplish the task in less time, you're going to feel good, you're going to have extra time, everything is going to be great. Now, if you say it's going to take me 30 minutes and it takes you 45, bad. You're going to feel like, oh my gosh, now I'm rushing, I'm not going to accomplish the rest of the things on my to-do list, and you're going to start feeling bad because you didn't accomplish the task on time. So always plan for more time that you think is going to take you. And if you have extra time at the end of the day, awesome. And another thing is to schedule the most important tasks or the ones that you feel they require the most attention when you're most alert. So to me, it's in the morning. In the morning, I'm very alert. So things that require a lot of concentration, I want to make sure I put them in my calendar in the morning, not at the end of the day when I'm tired and I don't have that, my brain doesn't work that well. So this is a couple of things that you can do. Create a to-do list with small goals. You allocate those goals in time slots on your calendar. Basically like that, from 9 to 9:45, I'm going to call 3 clients. This is how you accomplish your goals. At the beginning, it might sound, I don't know, it's a lot of work, it's difficult, but in reality, it is not. It helps you to stay on track of your goals and to know how much progress and how many things you have accomplished during the day. And at the end of the day and at the end of the week, you're going to have that sense of accomplishment. And that's what we're all looking for, to feel good about our business and ourselves.
Well, Romina, thank you so very much. And I don't know about all of you guys, but I have my work cut out already, okay? And then you said something very important because the new generation, the millennials, they're tied up to the cellulars.
Yeah.
They have a watch. So they're really tied. But some of the other generations, like moi, okay? Sometimes we have to do whatever works for us. And today I missed a webinar. Yesterday I missed a webinar of the U.S.-Mexico Chamber of Commerce because somehow I didn't calendar it. You know what works for me? Still the good old ways.
Yeah.
I write it down I put it by my computer and I know it's not there because I just don't carry this in the restroom. I don't carry this in other places. So sometimes we don't get that alert. But bottom line, whatever works for you is what works for you. So thank you so much. And we have a few questions for you right now. We have we're going to do question and answer. We have 3 of them right now. And at the end of the program, after Miguel's presentation, we're going to go back to questions and answers. So anyone that is, any participant that is listening, so please write us your question on the Q&A box and send it over, and we'll take those questions at the end of the webinar. So Romina, out of all the elements that you mentioned, which one in your opinion is the most important one to implement right now?
I think you can answer that, Sarah, because I just talked about it 2 minutes ago. To me, the most important is the to-do list, okay? Create a to-do list. I handwrite it every day. See, at the end of the day, I make like a balance and I said, okay, tomorrow I need to do this, I need to buy that, I need to cook this. Everything can be on your to-do list, things that are personal and things that are business. And it gives you such a sense of accomplishment when you start crossing those things off your to-do list. So to me, the most important element if you haven't implemented it yet, is to start writing a to-do list. It doesn't have to be 10 pages long. It could be 3 bullet points, but it helps you to clear your head and to be on top and on track of your goals. And to tell you something about the calendar that you were talking about, Sarah, again, I'm giving you all these tips, but you gotta do what works for you. So I use a handwritten calendar too, but you need to make sure that that calendar is somewhere where you can see it. And that every appointment that you feel is important and you don't want to miss, you handwrite it there. So sometimes you change your ring from a different finger, and that lets you remind yourself, oh, I forgot to add this to the calendar. You know that trick? I don't know. In Argentina, we have that. You change the ring and it reminds you something. But again, that calendar could be on your refrigerator or near your computer where you go to work. Just do something that it helps you to stay on track and not forget.
Yeah. And we have a question from Tabibnia Group. It says, what is the best to-do list? I think you just talked a little bit about it, right?
The best to-do list is the list that works for you. Now, something important about a to-do list is to put goals in there that you feel that they need to be in there. Not because I'm telling you, not because your mom told you or your business partner or the neighbor or so-and-so is doing it. The things that go on your to-do list, they need to be realistic things that you want to accomplish and you feel that you need to work on in order for your business to grow, not just anything.
And you have some fans with the participants today, because once again, from Tabina Group, it says, Romina Thomas is incredible. She brings clarity, simplicity, and balance. So there you go. So, okay.
Thank you. Wow.
So to the participants, please keep on writing your questions, because we're going to answer them at the end. And then we're going to do one more question with you, Romina, and then we will move at 2:30 with Miguel. So I am not very good at time management. How can I organize my time better? I feel that I don't have enough hours in the day to accomplish everything.
Okay. That happens to all of us and to a lot of people that I work with. And I explained it a little bit before. It's to understand how you're spending your time and to allocate the time on your calendar. Okay, so this is important. This goes hand by hand with your to-do list. Like I said before, if you know a task is going to take you 1 hour, plan for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Allocate that time to the calendar. You have to do this exercise. This is like having a meeting. When I'm explaining this to my clients, I tell them, okay, this is like having a doctor appointment that you cannot miss. Would you miss a doctor appointment? No. So this is an appointment that is even more important because it's an appointment with yourself and with your business. So you cannot miss it. Okay. So if you're saying you're going to show up for yourself and for your business from 9 to 10 to work on whatever thing you need to work on, you need to show up. And in order for you to show up in the right mindset, you need to do the steps that I said before. Keep yourself motivated, dress up for success. See, it all works together.
So thank you so much. And Romina Thomas information, you could see it on the screen right now. Take a photograph, write it down, whatever works for you. Keep it, in your pocket, and make sure that you contact Romina Thomas and ask all the questions that you need to get organized. So thank you so much on behalf of AME and Unico. Stay with us. And right now, I am really happy to introduce Miguel Borunda. He's an insurance broker and advisor at Palms Risk and Control and Insurance. And Miguel's interests include assisting clients in implementing a self-culture in their companies through risk management and risk mitigation. Miguel specializes in commercial real estate, logistics, and hospitality. Miguel's professional and community involvement includes, he's a member of the board of directors for the U.S. Member Chamber of Commerce, which was our partner today for today's presentation. And thank you, Marlene Marroquin, the executive director. Miguel is also on the committee, is a committee member for Special Olympics of Southern California in the Ventura County. Miguel studied international relations in St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas, and completed his undergraduate degrees in communications, media studies in Carson, California. Right on.
Yeah, totally.
Graduating with distinguished honors. Miguel is married to Kaylin Borunda Stevens, and they have 2 boys, Luca Miguel, which is 5, and Mateo Alejandro, 3. That keeps him busy also. It's a great pleasure that I introduce you to Miguel Borunda.
Thank you very, very much for such a nice and beautiful introduction. I want to thank all of you. Thank AME, Carla Silva. She's a colleague of mine in the U.S.-Mexico Chamber. I had the pleasure of really forming a relationship with her, a friendship. Mario Vitale, thank you very much. Sara, you've done a great job helping us and keeping us organized. And to my co-panelists, Coach Romina, Tomas, excellent presentation. I think that your techniques and your strategies are keys to success. They're helpful, and I do need a lot of those to implement on my day-to-day basis. So thank you very much for sharing that. And to all of you participants out there for investing your time to connect and be with us. And hopefully this becomes something of value to you, all of you. Right before anything, I just want to give you guys a quick outlook in the insurance industry. It's sometimes complex to understand. Sometimes people say it's boring. Before I go out there, I want to really give you an overview. And we, as a nation and in the insurance industry, have had many losses and claims in the past, 5 years. We've had hurricanes, we have floods, tornadoes, fires, a pandemic, and now, right now, in this very moment, we have riots. And insurance companies are hurting because of all of this. So there's 3 components to the formula used to examine and qualify a risk. There's the exposures, the losses, and the market. You have the exposures. What are you exposed to? And I'm going to give you an example here in California, right? A lot of people know about the fire. So if there's a business right next to a mountain, next to a brush, it's going to be so hard for people or for companies to really want to insure that business because of that. They're exposed to that. Are you in an area where there's a river and it could flood? So those are exposures. And that a lot of companies look at that, have a bird eye view on it, and figure out what the exposures are to see how they're going to be taking on the risk. They also look at the losses, losses that companies have had, right? What does a company's behavior look like? It's basically a report card, like to qualify what the company is and how their behavior is. This shows how much an insured has paid, right? The client, the insured, the owner of the business is paid as a premium versus how much the insurer, the insurance company, has paid out of pocket for those losses. And it's basic checks and balances. The market is how is it out there? How difficult, how easy it is? If it's easy to be insuring things right now, it's been great in the economy. There's not been any hurricanes, there have been no fires. That's a soft market. Right now, we're in a very hard market. Expensive and very, very limited. Insurance companies are cherry picking the best risk out there, right? The best companies to insure. And today, insurance companies are underwriting a company's safety culture. That's what they're looking at right now in this very moment. A top challenge right now that businesses and business owners will have in the coming months is to build a culture in safety. Safety is a priority core value. How can a peace of mind be created? And it's by acting on safety. Businesses will gain trust and eliminate fear for clients to collaborate with their operations. Once again, they're going to have to act, execute, and take charge. And a good plan that can be executed right now today is better than executing a plan tomorrow. And I love a quote that I found out there. So I was listening to a podcast, and it's not exactly the way it is, but I changed it up a little bit, and it says, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a kilo of cure. So it's very, very important to have preventative services protocols out there. So safety is based on the behavior. It's a philosophy and attitude of individuals and institutions through treatment, transparency, and trust. So businesses have a great advantage to set the tone for the future right now and make it better than it was right before this whole thing happened. So COVID-19, right? Return to work practices to maintain employee and customer safety and health. So COVID-19 has completely upended work as we know it. Employers have struggled to function with limited staff resources, structured their workforces, and implemented new protocols to keep their employees safe. In this environment, employers continue to wrestle with a steady stream of stay-at-home orders. The travel restrictions, can't wait to travel, go to Mexico, can't wait to go to Puerto Vallarta right now to see my mom. Safety requirements and leave mandates, among other significant workplace changes. So for businesses that have been closed, now the federal and state local governments are starting to unveil plans to ease the stay-at-home orders, as you're probably seeing it right now in the news. And I don't know what's going to happen after these riots are over. I mean, with God blessing, there's going to be no other wave. Employees are faced with questions right now regarding returning employees to work, while also maintaining the safety and health of the co-workers, the customers, and others in the workplace. When employees finally re-enter the workforce and operations resume, I think employers will need to make very difficult decisions in the weeks and months ahead. So another question is, how do employers prepare their workplaces before returning employees to work? OSHA. You always hear the word OSHA, and you gotta follow that. Also the CDC. So OSHA, what the acronym is, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and they have a guidance up there. Let me see 1 second. So, any questions? Some of the questions that are out there is, what can employers do regarding face coverings in the workplace? I think employers have workplaces in states or cities that have implemented laws or guidance relating face coverings. Some of these jurisdictions may currently have the mandatory face covering requirements, and many of these laws may be still in place when employees return to the workplace. As such, employees may need to develop procedures and protocols regarding the distribution and donating on the face coverings. And OSHA has advised that face coverings are not considered PPE, subject to former workplace health and safety standards, but we should actually just respect each organization's protocol. How do employers prepare for an exposure in the workplace? Well, it is likely that once the worksite reopens, employers will again be faced with employees who develop symptoms of COVID-19, test positive for that virus, be clinically diagnosed with COVID-19, or have been close in contact with presumed positive or confirmed COVID. Employers should think ahead and develop a thorough exposure control plan, which identifies what steps to take for different exposure scenarios, including whether an employee needs to self-quarantine, whether the employer needs to conduct a contact tracing assessment to determine if others should be isolated or quarantined, or how to implement appropriate cleaning protocols tailored to their operations. One of the things that I really think that employers must remember let me 1 second. I got a little bit lost with my Word document. So one of the things and one of the important things right now is, what should employers consider in preparing to safely reopen their work sites? And the basics are going to be, number one, employers must remember to keep custodial and janitorial staff safe, as they are increased risk exposure, both from COVID-19 and from any toxic effects of the cleaning chemicals used. The janitorial staff must wear always appropriate personal protective equipment and use the safety. If they're the ones cleaning and they're the ones doing the work, they're the ones that need to be very safe with everything that they're dealing with. Going back to number two, there's different surfaces require different cleaning regimens, and the plan should consider frequency of contact and the various types of materials. The CDC has also recommended considering removal of sub-porous surfaces to streamline and simplify cleaning. Outdoor areas, no matter where you are, you just need to be proactive. As Romina said, it's you need to have that and be aware of what you have. You have to study your surroundings, study what you're doing, where's the most traffic, and make an assessment of the whole entire areas. So another thing going from there, let me 1 second. Well, guys, I mean, this is an important thing to just keep in consideration and be aware of. And it's nothing but a culture that we need to create going in, as I said at the very beginning. It's a culture of safety. If you go in, and I'm going to give you an example of a restaurant or in hospitality. We all go into bars, we all go to restaurants, we all go to hotels. It's about the hesitancy that we have going in there. Is it going to be safe? Is it really? Can we sit down next to somebody right now in this very moment and not be exposed and not get sick? That's a lot of people out there. Some people don't. They feel immune to this and feel that it's okay, and I respect that too as well. But it's that the proactiveness and the steps that a company takes to feel that safety and have the trust of that client and the people, once again, that's going to take them to succeed in the future. I really believe that we as human species have been able to revolutionize through the hardest times that life has thrown at us. And look at the history books. We have gone through multiple pandemics, depressions, wars that we led to a nation like the United States of America. A new industrial and social revolution is coming our way, and for the better. We all just need to have the best positive mindset and the resilient to any challenges. We need to be really resilient to any challenges come our way. Social behavior, I think, will be kinder and more empathetic than ever before. I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite quotes out there from one of my favorite bands called Coldplay. And they say, we're going to get it. Get it together, I know. Get it together and flow. Gonna get it together and go up and up. Fixing up a car and driving it again. When you're in pain, when you think you had enough, don't ever give up. And that's by the band Coldplay and one of their songs, Up and Up. So thank you, everybody. I apologize for some confusion. One of the system here got all my questions mixed up in my order. So I apologize, but I hope you had a good understanding of this whole situation and making a better place for your companies and your businesses. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Miguel. Don't worry, we got questions for you. Okay, so not to worry. And anyway, some of the questions that we have are, what can employers do regarding face covering in the workplace? You know, most of the people will follow the guidelines, and once in a while, you have the people that won't. And I'll give you an example. I went to Wells Fargo Bank. I don't do a lot of outings. I went by appointment, and I get in there, and there's about 10 people in the line. So I went into a private section. But then inside the bank itself, one of the high admin person didn't have a face mask. Okay, mm-hmm. So how do employers and employees protect each other in these cases?
I think every single institution, every single organization, company is gonna have its own methods, no matter what. It's going to be in a different state, different country. They're going to do whatever it's safe in regards to their culture. But I think it's the smartest thing to do is to follow OSHA and to follow CDC to go by that, what they're saying in the local, in the county, in the municipalities, and the state level, to figure out what's out there. As an individual, as you, or whatever you have, you're a free person. You're free to do whatever it is. But I think if there's an institution or company, restaurant out there that is asking you and requires you for you to wear a mask, I think it's the best thing. I think respect is the number one thing right now that we should have towards this craziness. And if you respect what the rules are, then you'll feel free and you make everybody happy.
Is it going to be mandatory for every employee to be tested before they go back to work?
It's depending on the municipality and the county, the state level. But it depends. For instance, I'm going to give you an example. In our company, we're going to have that. And so we're based on risk control, and where our values is safety. It's the culture that we have. So yes, we are going to have that as something that we're going to implement and have the testing, and they're going to roll out an entire system of how we're going to go in there. Is there going to be a 25% capacity, and then maybe a 50% capacity? And then there's been a disruption, right, of whether how many employees are still going to stay remote, how many people are going to go into the office. But that's a great question, and the best thing to do is keep checking those websites. They're the professionals. They're the experts on what's going on out there.
Now, as part of the opportunities that come out in the market, there are companies right now that are offering to go into the sites that the business site to do testings for employees that have more than 25 or 50 employees. How do we distinguish the good ones from the other ones? Is this something you recommend also?
Yes. Can you ask the question again? I don't know if it's some.
Okay. Part of the opportunities that are out there is that new businesses are being created, especially in the cleaning sector and in the health sector.
Yes.
There's companies that are offering to go on site at the employer side and do the testing for all the employees. Okay. How do you see this new service?
They need to see what their certifications are. I think that's one of the number one things to look at. See if they have the website and they have all the requirements there for working and operating as that kind of service. Because yes, a lot of companies have taken advantage very smartly and sometimes very recklessly to get things better, including hand sanitizers. There's beer breweries out there converting into hand sanitizing manufacturing. But these companies that go in there and do the testing and do maintenance and cleaning and disinfecting on the area for that, I think it's something that the research that we do and the research that we I think our responsibility as a buyer, as a client, to look at and really do our due diligence on that company. Ask the questions and be prepared and see, so you can be comfortable whether they hire that company or not to come into your building 100%.
And as an employee, I always believe that there's responsibility and co-responsibility. If I'm an employee, I'm co-responsible also to make sure that I follow the regulations. What do you recommend for employees in assuming their responsibility?
Look, there's in a culture and a company implements, everybody needs to be working in harmony. If there's a bad apple, things can just fall apart, and it's a domino effect. If there's certain rules that you ask right before coming in, I think it's a responsibility of the leaders, of the managers, of the people that they put in maybe a committee to take charge on this and implement every single standard and protocol for them to be very well educated and to follow these steps that company wants to be a part of. That employees should just follow that. Be positive. Be happy. Be the energy. Employees are the representation of that company, the face of the company, and but more than anything, I think it starts at the top. And the top is not providing the right tools or the right communication. And employees also going to be running like chickens with no head, like we say in Spanish, gallinas sin cabeza. So it's what it is.
So do you think, Miguel, that this is the new social behavior that we can expect in the present and in the near future as well?
Look, there's a lot of energy out there right now. And like that my quote that it was out there, I think that I just gave you, it's about the positivity and the energy we invest as individuals, as a community. We need to be out there and be happy and smile and be loving and caring for others, and for us wanting for the economy and the businesses to come back. I do miss giving a hug to the person that I meet for the first time. That's my culture. Give a kiss to somebody, a lady, like, and I miss all of that. I miss shaking hands. I mean, people right now are scared to even reach out should I do it or should I not do it? And I think everything's going to change, and it depends on us, right? And I think that we're all going to be kinder and more empathetic towards our society, to each other. That's my take. Optimism is one of my takes. I need to be optimist, but at the same time rational. And it's up to us. So let's love and let's enjoy. Let's help each other out, and let's change the world into the best way possible.
Thank you, Miguel. And we have Carlo from PMH Laboratory saying hello. And then with that, we're going to go back to Romina and ask you another question, Romina. Is it hard to stay motivated with all the things that are happening nowadays? How can I keep myself productive and engaged in my work?
Let me unmute myself. Yeah, I mean, thank you, Miguel, for that presentation before. It was really informative. It was great. And I share with you what you said at the end, that we have to put the right energy into all these things that are happening. I think it's important to be kinder, to be sympathetic, and not to quickly judge, because there's so much information out there. The mask, not the mask, is it healthy, is it unhealthy? You know, all these things that are there. So I don't know, I think we have to take it one day at a time. Regarding to staying motivated, you know, I hear you, and let me tell you first that you are not alone. We're all on the same boat here. But it all depends on our perception, how we perceive this situation, and which choices do we make with all of these things that are happening. Like Miguel was saying, if you're an employee of a company that has certain rules and you don't agree with those rules, then it's time for you to change, to go to another job. But if you stay there, you kind of have to follow the rules. But this has always been the case. So I see this change as something that maybe people want to start their own business because they don't want to follow certain rules, or they are tired, or they realize, hey, I've been working from home, I like it this way, and I can do something else with my life. So again, change is good. All you have to do is to see what works for you despite all of this situation, and try to find that light at the end of the tunnel, because it's there. Believe me, it's there. So to keep yourself motivated, it is important to acknowledge our feelings and to, you know, use them as trampoline to take you to the next level, if you will. And again, doing all the things that I explained before, scheduling your task, creating a working schedule, having that work-life balance, understanding how you spend your time, stop watching the news all day. And I'm sorry I'm promoting this, but I think it's important for you to connect with other things than not just the news, or other channels, you know, not just what they're telling you on TV 24/7. Because the reality, you can see the reality when you go outside and you can talk to your neighbor and do a Zoom call with your friends. That's your close reality, your reality of your neighborhood and the people that are around you. And that's how you can make a change. Because we all say, okay, what can I do? What can I do with all of these things? Well, it starts within, and then it starts with your close circle, and then it starts expanding. So what you can do something for yourself that helps you be better, be in a more positive mood, and then do something for the people that are close by, and that will expand by itself.
Thank you, Romina. And I think that one word that we really have to bring in also is discipline. That these are really the times for changes and to implement the new changes. We really have this to be disciplined, you know, and it starts here. It starts with ourselves, you know, and then especially when we have children at home.
Absolutely.
That have to. So we're the role models for these children, you know, at home.
Absolutely.
Discipline, and Miguel said it, you know, let's be happy as well. Let's feel good about it, you know, let's be grateful, you know, exercise gratitude. So, and with that, we're coming close to the end of this wonderful seminar today with people that have given their time and their expertise to share with us what's the best way to stay alive in these challenging times, especially for companies like with Miguel Borunda, Romina Thomas, thank you so much. Marlene Marroquín, U.S. Mexico Chamber of Commerce, muchísimas gracias. Ame, muchísimas gracias. And we're going to show you right now our upcoming webinars. And then if we could have that on the screen, please. We want to thank Ame. We want to thank Unico Business Solutions, Monica and Guillermo for your great expertise with the technology behind us, you know, that is not seen, but we have Mexico's Monetary Policy and Economic Outlook. This is tomorrow at 8 a.m. LA times. And this is a presentation of the United States-Mexico Chamber of Commerce. Please tune in. And then we also have Unico Business Solution. Again, tomorrow as well. And this is at noon Pacific time, LA time, you know. We're going to have Sal and his team talk about continue running your business in a coronavirus climate. And last but not least, we have Unico Save the Date, June 25th at 2 p.m. again. And we will be letting you know about what the subject would be. So with that, we want to say, Paulo Hernandez says, thank you, Sara. And then Carlos says that we have his number. So on behalf of AME, on behalf of Unico, it is wonderful to say that we kept our time perfect, okay? So please tune in tomorrow with U.S.-Mexico Chamber of Commerce with Unico. And God bless you all. Have a blessed, stay healthy, be happy, you know, positive, discipline yourself. Let's make the change. And at the bottom line and at the end of the day, and at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, let's treat each other like you would like to be treated. If you treat ourselves like that, I think we're going to continue to survive and we're going to take advantage of opportunities that come out. So gracias.